Let me show you how I could achieve the baggy effect and the drawstring effect in one joggers. The difference between a regular DIY and a luxury streetwear is in their sewing steps, and in this video I'll be showing you a lot of sewing secrets that will make your streetwear game to move from a DIY to a premium or a luxury streetwear. Greetings everyone, and let's get started. Have you noticed that these are the types of pockets you see in your jean or any streetwear trouser you buy? First, I'll be showing you how you can achieve this pocket using freehand method. I am using a lighter material and this color is the closest I could get. This material is on fold. The length of your pocket should be 13 to 15 inches. The width of your pocket should be 8 inches wide. Like I said, it's on fold. So when I open it up, I'm going to be having 2 times of the length I mentioned. I'll take one piece of the front part. This is the pocket. It can be slanted or partially curved. I'll place the pocket on it, right side facing right side. Make sure it is arranged properly. I'll flip this to the other side and I'm going to sew it down following my pocket curve. After sewing it down, I'll go ahead to trim out the excess of the pocket fabric. Next, I'll go ahead to open this up and I'll place my seam on top the pocket fabric and I will top stitch on it. Now this is what I top stitch. Your stitch should be on the pocket fabric. Leaving this on the right side, you place the pocket fabric on fold and you sew down this side. After sewing this down, you are going to flip this to the inner part like this. Go ahead to arrange it properly and you need to iron it down to get the actual position of the pocket. Just ignore this area for now. After ironing this, we can see the excess and we can see how relaxed the pocket is. I'm going to be using this cutout to fill out the pocket area. I have two of these. I got this from the front crotch part. Next, we are going to be slanting this like so. Now, this slant should not go all the way to the top part. You keep one of these aside. You open up the pocket area like this and you are placing the straight side on the straight side of the pocket. Now, you place your pocket on it and I'm going to mark out where the exact pocket is sitting. Now, what is left inside should be about 1.5 inches at least so that the pocket fabric will not be showing. Go ahead to top stitch this other fabric all around. You can see I have top stitched it. For a trouser that you cut out in a slanted way, do not force it to be straight to follow along the pocket. Just cut out any excess you have there after top stitching the top part and the side. I'll repeat the same pocket process for the second side. I'll place the two front crotch together, I'll sew it down and also sew down the back crotch part and shape the side all with half of an inch. I have done that and I folded the hem of the trouser with a tiny fold and I ironed it down. I did the same thing for the second hem of the trouser. Next, you go ahead to measure the waist measurement or the waist circumference on the top part of your joggers. You measure it all around. We are going to be using this measurement to cut out the waistband. Now for the hem, you are going to fold it down by 1 inch and you iron it down before you top stitch it. This will make it easier if you iron it down before sewing on it. Now back to the waistline. There are elastic waistbands that you can sew with eyelet on the front, but since you already have this tutorial on the channel and since we are giving premium level stitching for these joggers, I'll be showing you the other type of finishing without eyelets on the waistband. The elastic I am using is 2 inches wide. The width of your waistband should be 3 times the width of your elastic. Place it on fold and iron it down. I have two of these. What I got as my waist circumference on my joggers, I added 8 inches, then divided it by 2. Now on this folded area, I'm going to mark out my elastic width plus half inch. I have 2 inches, but I'm marking 2.5. I'll mark it to the other end and connect it with a straight line. Whatever you have from this line upwards, you divide it into 3. Mine was 2.5, divided by 3 will give me 0.8. So I'll mark this on the top part, the 0.8, all the way to the other side. and I'll connect it with a straight line. After that line, you mark the same 0.8 from one end of the fold to the other end and connect it with a straight line. Repeat the same thing for the other fold. We are going to be joining these folds together, but you have to open up your fold like this. Then you place it right side facing right side. Now, when you want to sew this down, you have to leave a line on stitch, okay? You are leaving the center line on stitch. So I went ahead to pin up that line so that I would remember to skip it. This is me checking it to know where exactly I would pin. That way, when I'm stitching and I get to the area when I pin, I'll leave it on stitch. Alright? So you go ahead to pin the start and the end of the line. And when you are sewing, you sew to that point, back stitch, you skip it, and you sew again to the other end. Remember to back stitch at the start and at the end of each point. After sewing this, I'll remove my pins, and when you open it up, you will have a opening here. This is the opening we are passing our rope. Okay, you measure from your stitch line 2 inches at the top and at the down part. Connect it with a straight line, add half of an inch and cut it at that point. Next, we are going to join this together and we repeat the same process like we did for the other line and iron it on fold. You can see my openings is there. Next, you open this up and you are going to trim your seam allowance. Come down from the center by half of an inch and you trim the allowance from that point down. So this is it. Next, we are going to place this back on fold. Next, I'll place this band on fold, making sure that the part that has my openings is the center, and I'll pin it down. Measure out my jogger's waist circumference divided by 2, mark it out and cut it out. Unpin this, I'll open up my fold, place this right side facing right side, and I'm going to sew it down using half inch. After sewing this down, you trim out your seam. Next, you go ahead to place this on fold like this. The length of the elastic you need should be something that can go all around the waistband and should still be your waist measurement. Now, because the stretch of elastic differs, I'm going to put my tape up to give me the total width of my jogger's waist circumference. And I'm going to take my elastic and I'm going to put it there and stretch it to see if it is as stretchy enough to get to that width, okay, which is my waist measurement minus 3 inches at the end of it all. So I cut it at that point, place the two ends together and I'm going to sew it down. Later on in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I did it that way instead of just subtracting from my waist measurement. Now, for the waist rope, for the beaded area, you can cut out the knotted part, remove the bead, and fix back the bead when you are done. Or you can just break the beads and use it without the beads. Next, I'm going to put my elastic into my folded waistband like this, and I'm going to sew the down part. Sew carefully so that you don't sew on your elastic and you divide the fullness all around. Next, you go ahead to sew this on the lines you have marked and you stretch as you sew. Make sure it is stretched fully in a way that you do not have any folds. So here I am done sewing this following my lines. Make sure you pin the part that has opening on the front center exactly how it should be. Pin it down at that point and you go ahead to sew this all around. You stretch the elastic as you sew. Done with the waistline, you fix the rope on the center part. For the hem part, after folding it in by 1 inch, you top stitch. Next, I'll be showing you how you can fix in your drawstring effect and how you can also achieve the baggy effect. So here I am done top stitching it and I ironed it down so that it will lay flat. Now we are going to be using this for the drawstring effect. It comes in different shape and I bought 2 shapes. This is shape 1 and this is shape 2. But I'm using shape 2 for this particular baggy effect. I've gone ahead to fix one part of it. So we are going to be fixing the other side. Next, you need a tiny stretchy rope, either in black or white, any color that is closer to the material you're working with. Now, when you are top stitching the hem of your joggers, on the side of the joggers, the side hem, you are going to leave half inch unsewn. That part that is open is where you are passing your tiny elastic rope. Using whatever method you know how to, you pass through your tiny elastic rope and it comes out the other way like this. When you press this, it opens like this, and when you let go, it closes up. Okay. Next, you ensure that you have enough on the width as is. Then you take out this rope and you cut out the excess. You cut it up like 1.5 inches left. Don't cut exactly. Next, you put the two ends of the rope together. Take this black stuff and you pass it through the hole. You are passing both of them to come out at the other side. Adjust it to be on the actual point. Then you go ahead to knot what is left. Personally, I knotted this 3 times. So after knotting this, you go ahead to cut out the excess and you can use a candle light to burn out the tip. Okay, and that stuff would stay under. When you draw the string and it is giving the drawstring effect, you go ahead to tuck in the rope like this. And when you want to make it free, you press down this stuff and you freely release the rope and you go ahead to make it a baggy. After I marked all my lines and followed up every accurate step, I still made a bad waistband. Why did this happen? Because it's a baggy joggers, the actual waist of the joggers is very wide, but I cut out an elastic that was very small because I wanted it to give me a snatch waist. Because the elastic was very small, I had to use a lot of pressure to stretch it. This made the elastic to coil and made it very hard for me to follow up my marked lines. So in summary, you just need an elastic that can hold on to your waist, not something that snatches your waist. Otherwise, it might be hard for you to stretch and follow up your lines when sewing on the lines. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see you in my next video. Bye.